Hey, good morning. Welcome in. I can't believe it. We're having Diamond Dave Bartoo on during the show. So this is cool. Live on the air. Dave Bartoo, Diamond Dave, joining us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. We're doing a little bit of, I'm going to drop it.
When the lights are about to be turned off, you know what you need. Because you got to somehow make that paper, right? You come to the right place for that, because it's time for Bo Bounds to show you the...
Woo! Brought to you by Pearl River Resort, the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook, and award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. We'll be there later this afternoon, but we'll be live from there tomorrow. We'll actually play this interview again tomorrow, a little bit earlier in the show. So remember that. We'll be live from Dancing Rabbit Golf Club tomorrow in the back porch with the Steve Azar Bloody Mary, getting ready for week 2 of college football and week 1 of the NFL. He is Diamond Dave Bartoo on the show. Good morning, Sunshine.
Hey, what's up, Buttercup, man? It is a beautiful day.
Dude, how happy were you when you saw that I texted you 20 minutes ago and asked you to come on the show? Did it just make your day?
It was awesome. I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, man, live show Thursday. I mean, I get it. You know, you got a week worth of shows and a day's worth of positive where you're at. So you got to fill time somehow.
Diamond Dave on the Out of Bounds show. Show me the money. I thought, okay, so here's where we are. Mississippi State won, so they're happy right now. Ole Miss won, they're happy. Alabama fans are losing their mind. LSU is riding high, and Auburn's riding high. Those are all the teams close to us, okay?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where, after week 1, Bama fans are losing their mind. Everybody else won, and we march on to week 2, Bartoo.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the beauties of the SEC being 16 teams. There's constantly a big brand that is losing their mind.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right now it's Alabama. Next year it's going to be a different brand.
Right.
And so there is always, with 16 teams, there is always this huge dichotomy of one side is just having a great week and the other side is just burning every couch in the state. So I think that's the glorious part of it. But come on. I mean, did it matter who replaced? We talked about this on the show. Did it matter who replaced Nick Saban?
No.
That guy was catching hell. I mean, you need 4 years of rebuilding culture after what Nick had, built there, and there was just absolutely no way anybody's going to be able to continue it at that level. Even Nick Saban can't continue it at that level. That's why he quit.
Right.
So yeah, it's cute, but it's a reminder to everybody, right? Reminder to everybody. I am team. Never act like you've been there. I'm also team always storm the field, because the football gods are mean son of bitches, right? They give it and they take it away. Nothing lasts, right? I mean, you think about it over time. Eventually, it catches up to you, and you got to take your medicine. Michigan wins the national title. Took them 25 years to get back there.
Yeah.
Texas won a national title. Mac Brown spent 2 decades trying to get there. He gets there, fell apart.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, heck, even Mississippi State. Who is number 1 in the first college football playoff rankings?
2014, baby.
Exactly. 11 years later, look where we're at. Man,
I'm jumping off the cliff and burning mattresses. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a Bama fan and you're complaining about this, man, you didn't cash your chips when you were sitting at the table. You thought it was going to last forever, and you should shut up, because you're not smart enough to be literate enough to read and understand football history. It always goes down. It's just you don't know when and how long it's going to be.
No. I told one Bama fan that their tears were delicious. I mean, I have no sympathy or empathy.
No,
Bartoo. They won forever.
No, there's no sympathy, because we've all been there. I mean, me as I'm a Duck alum. I'm a Duck fan. I've seen it. I've seen the high. I've seen the low. And so it's just, something. It's try to look at it like, to me, it's just look at it as entertainment. Have a great time while you're there. Go to the games when you're winning. Go to the games and cheer and have a good time when you're blowing teams out and you're just smoking everybody. But understand that will end. The music will stop, and you're just going to have to take your medicine on a rebuild. So
it's like an Ole Miss friend of mine said, like most of Ole Miss fans think this is going to continue to happen forever, 10-win seasons. I got a buddy, though, that's like, Bo, I'm just soaking it all in. I know that we're going to eventually run into some rough times. Everybody does.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not this weekend, because this is I'm not a big vengeance guy. Oh, we're going to play hard because we're going to get revenge on these guys.
Right.
Whatever. If you're out talented, you're out talented. But I do want to see what Ole Miss does at Kentucky this weekend, because Kentucky ain't going to score but 10 points.
Right.
So yeah, that's a Mark Stoops game. First 1 to 13 wins, baby.
Oh, that's good. So that game, Ole Miss at Kentucky, Ole Miss is laying 9.5. And to piggyback off of what you said, the total's 50.5. Bartoo.
Yeah, that's getting down there. But see, what I'm kind of off on Kentucky right now, because I don't know what the motivation is. We know the offense shouldn't be good, right? They had one shining year with Levis and Cohen, right? And the rest of it has just been subpar offense in the SEC the entire time. You got Brad White, who's a hell of a defensive coordinator, but I'm just wondering how much of the wheels internally of Kentucky are coming off, because they lost Vince Marrow to Louisville before the season even started.
Right.
So I think there's something going on behind the curtain there. I mean, and again, basketball school, so nobody cares. But I just, I'm to me, I am betting against Kentucky or not at all.
Okay.
On these football games.
Okay. That makes sense. Because Ole Miss has more talent, and Kiffin and Golding are much better than the combo of what you just referenced. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the spread's not that big. What is it? 9.5?
9.5, my man.
Yeah. 9.5. I will tell you. So I have been working for the last 4 or 5 months, with creating my own AI agents, understanding college and NFL sports betting, and including live in game and so forth, and trying to understand the trends that I could never do on my own with spreadsheets. And in week 2 of the college football season, the one thing that is circled is double-digit favorites. Really watch out for the double-digit favorites. One of them to look for. Look, the double-digit favorite this week that did not cover last week.
Okay.
And I'll post all these. I have a bunch of NFL and college football stuff that has been pulled out of the databases. But that's one of the big ones this week. So like a Clemson, for example, at home, minus 33.5 against Troy, did not cover last week. Now they are a massive double-digit favorite at home this week. Week 2, that is historically over the last 10 years, that profile has been a very good underdog cover.
Dang. Okay. Clemson 33.5 point favorites this weekend against Troy. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that one. All right.
Right.
How about this?
Guess what?
Yeah.
Texas still sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I swear, we talked about this last week, and it's just like I thought Texas had more to lose than anybody last week, right? I mean, window of opportunity. Ohio State, new quarterback, new DC, new OC, and nothing, and they sark it, dude. I'm telling you, sarking it is absolutely for real. It's just for real. It's a thing. And
Sarkin.
that might have been the. I know everybody was down on Clemson, but they were playing a top 5 recruiter, and I know Texas was playing a top 5 recruiter as well, but so is Texas.
Right.
And Clemson had, coaches back, but LSU had some continuity as well. I just think the worst opportunity missed was Texas last week. I think that was the biggest bleh. And yeah, people have talked about how soft the schedule is, but man, that's a bad start. That is a really bad start. I mean, we're not going to be surprised come November if we're already talking Texas out of the playoff race.
Hot garbage.
That's what Bartoo thinks about Sark as a head coach. Loves him as a coordinator, but this is what he's thinking. You know, I mean,
Wolves, Mountain Lions, and Bears.
that's what they're thinking in Texas. So they still got to go to Florida in a couple of weeks, and I think Florida's damn good, and I think they better watch out. They could end up with 3 losses early in the year, and this thing could get away from them. But they go to Florida in a few weeks. I don't think that's going to be any kind of cakewalk. We got Bartoo with us. Show Me the Money, brought to you by Pearl River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino Sportsbook. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. Week 2, baby, right here. So we've got Mississippi State hosting Arizona State, Bartoo, in Starkville. And Arizona State is laying 6.5, and the total is 59.5, Bartoo.
Oh, they're laying 6.5.
Yeah.
You know, I was just trying to pull the numbers up on some Arizona State behavior because I was just trying to find the reports I had on their first, second, third, fourth quarter tells specific situational behavior that I would talk about, but I can't pull it up.
Hey,
right
what's
now.
that total you always reference? 55 points, do this. 56, do that type deal.
Yeah. It's your average college football game. The most frequent number hit is 55.
Okay.
Right. But that's over a whole season. And, in week 1, remember I was talking about the AI, it was basically showing that in week 1, everything between 57.5 and up to 62.5, just blind take the under every single week 1 of every single college football season. Week 1, 2026, if Mississippi State is in a game and it is 58.5, take the under. And I think what it's showing is, there's a chronic issue in terms of what rolled over from last year in trying to project that week 1 outcome. And the totals seem to be consistently too high in that band. But what did you say Arizona State, Mississippi State was at right now? It's
59.5 total.
Oh, gosh. Right. We'd love to be over, right? Considering what State's defense was last year. No, come on, let's be serious about it.
Well, they were 114th, you told me like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. And the second worst in the SEC was 71st. I mean, it was statistically probably the worst defense you've seen at Mississippi State
in my lifetime.
Yeah. So on the plus side, nowhere to go but up, baby.
Right.
Yeah. But that takes time. And so in Arizona State, their strength, it kind of depends on what you want to look at, right? They got a lot of defensive guys coming back, but they weren't very, very efficient on defense last year. They were carried by that offense with Scadaboo and Levitt.
Right.
And last year, Mississippi State, again, offense much better than the defense. And so you have two teams that ending 2024 had significantly better offenses than defenses. And 59.5 is kind of right in the middle of it. I'd rather be at 56.5, 55.5 and be over. I think it's kind of a no man's land there, but because of the way these two teams finished last year, and we don't have enough information this year, I got to slightly lean over on the 59.5 just because of the offenses from 2024, and we just don't have enough information on 25 yet.
Sure. Okay. Bartoo's Bangers on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned at Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance tonight. Okay. Michigan at Oklahoma. All right. So.
Now, hey, one little side note on Mississippi State, Arizona State.
Yeah.
In September, I don't mind blind betting the cover on that one. Okay. Last week, there were 6 underdogs that had a 4-year better high school recruiting profile and were underdogs last year.
Okay.
6. Okay. 5 of the 6 covered last week.
Okay.
Okay. So the only one that didn't cover, Northwestern was an underdog at Tulane and got their ass handed to them by Summerall, one of my favorites. But in September, betting talent to cover is always a really good idea. Over time, you're going to be up money. Every single year, you're going to be up money. So Mississippi State plus whatever number you got, I got no objections with that. Now, Michigan, Oklahoma, does this set the table for how good or bad both these teams might be this year?
I think so.
That's what it feels like to me, right? Because I don't trust Michigan at all.
Right.
They regressed last year, which we expected, right? They got a lot of guys drafted in the NFL. Then a bunch more guys on defense got drafted in the NFL. The offense wasn't good last year. The defense was really good, but they lost a ton of players. Their recruiting profile, high school-wise, is very similar to that of Oklahoma. And, folks, I keep saying high school recruiting because I ran 5 different models in week 1. Straight high school recruiting and then some sort of hybrid with the portal. The straight high school recruiting was better predictor than anything. Nothing in the portal. I could not figure out how to use the portal consistently to project games like high school recruiting. So I'm going to just stick with that going forward. So Oklahoma, Michigan, pretty similar high school recruiting. Oklahoma's better. Okay. Oklahoma got a veteran quarterback. Michigan's got a really good quarterback right now, but he's a younger one. He's on the road. What's the line on that thing? Oklahoma has to be favored in that football game.
They are. They're laying 5.5, Bartoo.
Yo! Yeah. Man. I was hoping you were going to say like 2.5. I'll lay the field goal. But the difficulty is betting on Venables. Look,
Right.
I don't like Moore. I don't like the way he started. And I'm not big on the Michigan staff. And Oklahoma, though, we can't overlook how much they've underperformed the talent in Venables' tenure so far. It hasn't been good at all, And there's a ton of promise there, but there's always a ton of promise in Norman when you recruit in the top 15, right?
Right.
Every single team that recruits in the top 15 has a ton of promise. So, again, this is a really cool matchup. I do believe Oklahoma's going to win this thing. I do believe Oklahoma better win this thing because I really feel the loser, this might be one of those early games where you go, okay, I didn't see the wheels coming off, but once we get to November, we look back and go, man, that team just wasn't that good. So I'm really curious to see if Oklahoma can turn the corner and try to make a season out of it. But I do think this is going to be the start of a worse season in Ann Arbor this year than it was last year.
Oh.
They got muschamped.
All right. So Bartoo on the Out of Bounds show, Bartoo's Bangers. The total in the game is 45.5. Michigan, Oklahoma, 45.5.
Well, look at the strength though. Look at our coordinator strength, right? Michigan, the coordinator strength is, well, if you want to call it strength, is Martindale at DC, right? And Oklahoma, clearly the strength is Venables,
Right.
on DC,
Right.
So, DC plus DC equals, we're not betting the over, even though that is a very, very small line.
Yeah.
But I think it is going to be, especially early in the season, I still think it's going to be a defensive football game. I would lean under on that. If I had to bet something to get a good ROI, I would just take Oklahoma to win the thing straight up. The hell with the points. Give me the money line and see if I can get myself a 25-30% ROI on that bet.
Okay. Bartoo on the Out of Bounds show and the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Bama wants to run their coach out of town. Just FYI.
Oh, that's fine. They can trade maybe Oklahoma or Michigan for their head coach after this week. They want to run them out too. I'm like, run it out for what? What are you going to do?
Right.
Right? There's no Nick to go get.
No.
You think you're going to try to get Dabo to come out? Why would Dabo leave? He's the man in Clemson.
He is the man in Clemson.
Yeah, it's not even close, right? And so, I mean, I get your people are frustrated, but, it is to what point are you going to get that done? And look at the history of Alabama. How many head coaches has Alabama had in your lifetime that fans really like?
2.
I mean, they hated Gene Stallings, and he lost like 4 games.
I know. So Gene and Saban, Stallings and you just hit on a great topic, and I talked about it earlier. Stallings and Saban are the only 2 coaches to be able to handle the enormity of the job post Paul Bear Bryant, Bartoo.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That it's just so it is. It just goes to show how hard it is for an athletic director to take the right risk.
Yeah, because Burns made some unbelievable hires at Mississippi State, Arizona, and Alabama the last 15 years, Bartoo.
Exactly. And there's a lot of ADs out there that nail it, but then the next one they don't. Mm-hmm. And it's just like staffing, right? It's hit and miss. It's hard to figure it out. It's hard to get the right combination. But
real quick, I got a minute and a half with you. North Carolina at Charlotte. Okay, North Carolina is a 13.5 point favorite. Belichick got beat 48-14 Monday. North Carolina at Charlotte minus 13.5 Tar Heels.
Yeah, and did not cover, right? So we got double-digit team who didn't cover last week, and they look like hammered crap. Oh, my God. Dude, we are on pace for Ellis Johnson Southern Mississippi level of awesome. Right? I mean, he might challenge the 2 greatest seasons of this century if he goes 0-12.
Oh, my goodness. Ty Willingham, Ellis Johnson, let's go, baby.
Dude, and Charlotte, look, Charlotte was projected to win 2.5 games this year. 2.5, right? They got Tim Albin. Dude, if North Carolina loses to Charlotte, I might laugh myself to death. I will literally pee myself. That would be so horrific. And North Carolina should just be ashamed of themselves, because when you look at 24 and 25, you look at their 2 schedules combined relative to how well they have recruited in the past, it might be the biggest travesty ever in my lifetime of wasting a good schedule with talent. I mean, if you're a State fan, go look at North Carolina's schedule last year and this year. You'd be like, dude, we'd be in the playoffs with that crap.
Yeah.
And North Carolina's not going to win a damn football game.
They should have hired John Summerall or Dan Mullen. Love you, Bartoo. Thank you, buddy.
49ers plus 13.5. Take it easy, bud.
All right, man. Thanks for listening to the show today. Lunch brought to you by McBee's on Lake Harbor and Ridgeland. From the wine burgers to the blue plates to the Southwest egg rolls, which Jackson Meadows loves, and happy hour daily and the big Saints parties on Sunday. McBee's on Lakeland Drive. We'll see you tomorrow live from Dancing Rabbit Golf Club.